Hello and welcome to the Nashville Daily Podcast. I'm Stuart Deming.
And I'm Aaron Pennington.
New details and renderings emerge for the new Broadway Bridge.
Plus, the man who made today's Nashville just announced that he is stepping back.
We'll talk about all of this and more on Nashville Daily.
Today's episode of Nashville Daily is brought to you by Your Next Home, which could be sold to you and negotiated for you with Brad Reynolds, one of the best in the business. If you're looking for a home and you need somebody to help you find that dream home in Nashville or the surrounding area, call Brad Reynolds. If you're thinking Nashville, think Brad. You can reach Brad at 615-856-3270. Also, I have to say that coming out soon on our YouTube channel, Explore Nash, explore.nash if you are not subscribed there, because this podcast airs on the Nashville Daily YouTube channel. But if you are not subscribed on the explore.nash YouTube channel, we are soon to have a Battle of the Minds video released.
Of who knows Nashville better? Between
Stuart and Brad, and it is such a fun video that we've made. So make sure you are subscribed there. That will be coming soon to a television screen or phone near you, and that's on our YouTube channel, explore.nash.
Or an iPad or a laptop.
Or a
Watch them on
projector.
all the devices.
We wish it was a movie theater.
A movie theater one day. We will release a first YouTube video on the movie theater one day. But if you're heading to a movie theater, there may be a new movie theater in downtown Nashville in a few years. But hopefully by October of this year, there's a brand new bridge.
October of this year? Oh, yeah, so that sounds...
It sounds risky. It sounds like a risky biscuit. But we've talked about this a couple times. We actually talked about this has been planned for multiple years. Initially, I believe the plan was to shut this bridge down for a couple months, up to 6 months. That was like the 2018 or 2017 plan. Shut this bridge down, and then they weren't expecting Nashville to grow the way it has.
Yeah. Also, I don't know it because it was planned before the pandemic, so I'm sure that threw a few things off.
Well, that and they probably weren't accustomed to all these buildings being here. So we have Greg, the Google guy, on the street of where this bridge is. And this bridge is in downtown Nashville off of Broadway. Right here is the beautiful Union Station built in 1900. Then you have this Grand Hyatt Hotel that's right there.
I'm glad that Greg is back from like 2017 or wherever he was last episode.
He's December of 2022. So, but Greg doesn't want to move forward. So Greg is being stubborn. So I guess this is the view that we're going to have to deal with right now. So there's a bridge right here. It goes over the railroad tracks. Greg, we're going to get you into a hot air balloon real quick.
Okay. There we go. Let's send him.
He is stubborn. He is stubborn today.
Oh, he could kind of move forward there for a second.
Greg?
Yep.
Oh, there you are, Greg. Now you're finally moving. Okay. So it over goes this train yard over here. This is the Sheerian building that I messed up the other day and called it something else. And then you have the other train track. So this bridge is a old bridge. And a new
we're like pretty much past its expiration date, almost, kind of.
Yeah, well, they're knocking it down, so it's definitely past its expiration date. So this is going to be closed for 8 weeks, beginning in July. July 5th.
Only 8 weeks.
Well, do you remember from the article that we covered a couple weeks ago? They're going to do the lanes, and then they're extending the sidewalks and everything.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to take the longer time. So to get rid of the bridge and then put the bridge in, they're hoping to be done by October of 2023.
So, okay. I mean, that's better than nothing. But closing down an entire Broadway bridge, logistically, that seems like a nightmare. Hopefully they have alternatives in place?
They do. We'll show that here in a second. But this bridge has more than 23,000 vehicles a day. I think that's relatively small. That number has to be higher now.
I can't remember compared to like the Church Street area.
Oh, the one Church Street bridge had like 45,000 a day.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah, maybe we'll find an article on that or something, or the actual study. All right, so this is the renderings of what the new bridge is going to look like. This is on the Nashville Business Journal, but the TDOT has released this to all of the news outlets in Nashville. So you may have gotten lost on the Reddit cesspool with all the comments about this. But it looks like it's going to have nice sidewalks.
I guess they hated it that much.
I don't know. It's probably more of the time. I try to avoid Reddit. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, so we'll go scroll through this. Oh, there's Union Station with the new bridge, and then there's a sponsored thing by CSX.
Yeah,
No,
I saw.
kidding.
No. I saw when I saw that. I saw CSX in there,
I'm
I'm like,
are
this
they paying
was
for the bridge?
This was my exact thought. I said somebody wants to make sure that CSX knows that we're not going to take their precious little railroad. Just another reminder.
Or
hey, we're on your side, because they have to coordinate with CSX for this.
That's true. Or CSX is like, hey, you guys owe us.
Let us know. Let people know we own this railroad right here.
Comment below what the situation was.
As soon as I saw that, I knew that was a very, 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 very intentional placement.
All right, so with this view, you're looking eastbound, and so you have Union Station, you have the Grand Hyatt, and then you can go down the Lower Broadway from this way. This is interesting. So this is still looking eastbound. You can see Union Station there, and you can see the Grand Hyatt with all those shops that are not open yet. And then this building is interesting. This building that's in front of us, this is looking westbound, I think.
So the tall or the short building?
The short building. The tall building, I believe, is already there. That's where the Whole Foods is.
Yep.
That's where iHeartMedia has an office there. But this building hasn't been announced fully. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Do you think they just put it there as a placeholder so it didn't look ugly, or do you think that something is actually there? Or something is already planned for it. We just don't know about it yet.
I think it's a placeholder. Something has been planned for it. I do know that much. I think it's going to be a very tall building that's going there
instead of that short building.
Instead of the 6-story
Because
building.
it kind of reminds me of the old Tennessean building, but just a modern version of it.
Yes.
A little bit.
That lot has to have a 30-story building. Or close to it.
It'll be very interesting.
It just makes sense.
But you're right. It is very interesting.
And that's the last one.
It's just a daytime one.
Okay.
CSX.
Twice.
Still in there. Okay.
Sponsored.
So the impact of this bridge shutdown. The Business Journal said it will not be far-reaching, and it's not just on the downtown side of the bridge. The bridge is the primary route for delivery trucks, WeGo buses. In Midtown on the other side of the downtown interstate loop, Detours will begin. We'll have a rendering up here from the Business Journal that the Detours will begin at 14th Avenue, right? You don't want to just want to turn as soon as you get there. You want to avoid it a little bit slicker than that.
Yeah, because it's going to be a mess.
Yeah, so Detours will begin at 14th Avenue, a stretch that witnesses almost 33,000 vehicles on an average day, according to state estimates.
It actually looks like they're closing it, for except for local deliveries for Amazon and Whole Foods and maybe the McDonald's and stuff. It looks like they may close that right there at 14th and interstate.
There's no way that they would, because then that would restrict interstate access. I don't think they would. I think these are just labeling the detour routes.
Maybe.
They
may close that one day.
I hope they don't close
but
that.
This is still open. I don't know. It's interesting.
Next month, traffic will be narrowed to 2 lanes either direction on the existing bridge.
Ugh.
Access will be shut off on July 5th to allow for the bridge replacement to happen. The bridge will reopen to traffic September 1st.
September 1st.
And the project will be completed October 31st. That, I got to be honest, that's pretty impressive for a timeline.
Do you remember the Lego?
Replacing that?
Do you remember the Lego bridges they did throughout downtown?
Yeah.
Where they shut down for a weekend.
Yeah,
at a time?
and when they worked on the interstate and everything.
Yeah, so
I remember those. I know it's possible.
It's kind of like that concept. Let us know in the comments. Do you plan on taking this route, or do you plan on even going to downtown Nashville while this construction's happening?
Yeah,
because I may avoid it.
Yeah, if it's during any close to a peak time, that's not going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be a mess. All right, let's talk about some local food. Aaron and I went to a Thai restaurant in South Nashville. Is it Deg Thai? Is that how you say it?
That's how I would say it.
Okay. So this is a great Thai restaurant in South Nashville off of Nellensville Pike, and they actually started as a food truck. I think it was about 10 years ago or so. They do have a big following. I had something really interesting. I'm going to try to pronounce it here on the podcast, and I'm definitely
Which
going
one
to
is it, second?
I had that one.
Oh,
Yes. Okay. So let me describe.
Here, can we full screen that?
Yeah, and then let me just
so
describe
other people
this,
can help us with this
meal.
correct.
Where did it go? There it is. Okay. This is one of their most popular dishes. It has stir fry with pork, holy basil, garlic, and Thai chili pepper, and then topped with a fried egg and rice. It was fantastic. This is the kra pramukado. I don't know.
Sure.
How would you say it?
Pretty similar to that.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It is literally, it is amazing. The basil with the garlic and the pork belly, fantastic. I would highly recommend it.
So I just had, because I've only had Thai a few times. I had the classic pad Thai with chicken, with a medium heat level. So it has stir fry rice noodles, eggs, and I got chicken as the meat.
Okay.
And I believe it had some kind of sprouts on them. And it was really, really good. I enjoyed it. Had great flavors. The spice level was fantastic. I might try next level up next time I'm there. Maybe, yeah.
Their hottest flavor. We have to talk about this. I brought the menu over to you, Aaron, and you're just sitting there for a second. And I was like, Aaron, could you just read to me the bottom one?
Their hottest level spice. I don't know how I didn't see
spice.
this when I originally was looking at their spice levels.
I am going to curse here. So their hottest level is called Ass Fire.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And it is, that made my eyes go, nope. But overall, great experience. I can't wait to go back. If you're looking for a haircut or a beard trim here in the city of Nashville, you need to visit our sponsor, BowtieBarberClub.com, to book your haircut or your beard trim now. The thing that I love going about Bowtie is it's really like a community barbershop.
Yeah.
And so like we're just sitting in the lobby and we build friendships and relationships all the time. It's fantastic. You never know who you're going to meet there. So visit them, BowtieBarberClub.com.
Okay, so before we talk about probably one of the largest
pieces of news of 2023.
one of the largest, In-N-Out was the first. This is probably the second biggest story of 2023 so far. But before we get to that, make sure you are subscribed to this YouTube channel. This is Nashville Daily Podcast. If you are listening, make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube channel as well. We have some great visuals that go along with our episodes. Greg the Google Guy would love for you to tune in and to see his beautiful work on your screen. So make sure you are subscribed there so you stay up to date with the latest of what we're doing on YouTube.
And we just have to mention this, guys. We are about a week away from episode 1,000.
Oh my gosh, it is coming in quick.
That is crazy that we have recorded 1,000 episodes. And for you who have been with us since the beginning, please comment below. I want to send you a sticker.
Yeah,
somehow.
We had somebody comment the other day that they've been with us since episode about 30, about episode 30.
Yeah, so
which is amazing.
We appreciate you guys listening to us almost on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. We appreciate all of the just the thoughts and the comments and everything that about the podcast, and it has grown significantly. We're really excited about episode 1,000. And just to remind you guys, we are making a few changes in our episode. You're going to see that over this next week. There's going to be some changes happening, but we're reintroducing.
We're very excited about them.
Yeah, we're reintroducing interviews, so it's going to be a lot of more interview focus, and we're also we're introducing a lot of changes. So we're really excited. Episode 1,000 is coming in about a week.
All right, so the second biggest story of 2023. What year is it? 2023. Okay, so this happened, I believe, Friday morning. Butch Spearden announced his, I'm using air quotes, retirement. It's a retirement, but not a retirement.
It's a step back.
Yeah, he's stepping back, aka
we knew this was going to happen because there was stuff that happened in 2022 where he said, "Hey, I think I'm going to step back." Sometime in the future.
Yes, but before we get to the details of that, we've got to look at some of the things that he has done, not just in the past year. So we're coming from News Channel 5 with this information that Nashville broke more tourism records last year. The amount of hotel rooms sold, exactly, golf clap for that. Taxes collected.
Oh, yes. Good one.
I wouldn't have clapped for that.
I'm kidding. I hope you sense the sarcasm. There.
And visitor spending are all
That's
up.
a good one to clap
There you
for.
go. That's a good one. The Nashville Convention and Visitors Corporation, who's Butch is in charge of, is expecting 2023 to be another record-breaking year.
Yay!
There you go. So according to the Visitors Corporation, there is an unprecedented year for hotels in 1 year. Comment below. Pause this. Comment below. How many hotel rooms do you think were sold throughout 2022? Pause it. Write it down.
It's not one.
So in 1 year, 9.5 million rooms were booked.
That's a lot of cleaning fees.
In October of 2022, almost 1 million rooms sold, another record. I
Impressive.
don't even think that includes Airbnbs.
No,
Could you imagine if Airbnbs did not exist, how many hotel rooms we would have to have here in Nashville?
I just think it.
We would have to have almost
occupancy-
50% more.
Oh yeah, the occupancy would be outrageous. It would be like 130%. That's insane. Plus, that month saw a record in the hotel taxes with $12.86 million.
Yeah, I mean, that is just absolutely wild. So in a quote from the Visitors Corporation, they said the industry is undertaking a 5-year strategic plan on how to maintain momentum and continue to keep Nashville in demand as a destination because more hotel rooms are needed to be filled. We read an article last week that talked about during the New Year's Eve celebration, which broke all the records as well.
Yeah.
That 85% of the rooms were occupied, and it still broke a record when a few years ago 100% of the rooms were sold. So making good progress there. But they said more hotel rooms need to be filled. 15 more hotels with 2,567 rooms are under construction to open by the end of 2024. An additional 43 hotels are in the planning stages.
And that's the
That's
one.
a lot of hotels.
And there's hotels that we don't even know about are in the planning stations. This is interesting. Last year, nearly $9 billion was brought in from visitor spending, and we saw a huge jump from 2021 for people visiting in 2022. Nashville had 14.4 million visitors. I think I predicted 15 million.
I really can't remember what I predicted now.
You predicted, I think close to 13.5.
I think I said it was going to be the same.
Yes.
So it went up, which is good.
Which is good, yeah. So this is what they are predicting for 2023, and I want to make my predictions after this. Forecasts indicate Nashville will grow as a market, with 2023 projected hotel demand to grow annually by 10% compared to 2022, according to STR and Tourism Economics. STR is based out of Hendersonville. In 2023, Nashville expects to welcome 15 million visitors outside 50 miles of the city, with a large majority being domestic travelers and over 200,000 from outside the United States.
That is interesting.
And now this is a big number. Visitor spending is projected to come in around $9.3 billion in 2023, up 5% from 2022.
All right. So there are those predictions right there.
All right, my prediction. Somebody please comment on this video and say to write this down somewhere so we have this for next year. My predictions are, I think Nashville will see around $9.7 to $9.8 billion.
So we're going to be up almost 10% from 2022.
From 2022, yeah. I also predict that Nashville will have close to 15.7 to 15.8 million tourists.
Whew.
And the reason for that is all of the conventions and conferences are coming back. And I am getting ads left and right.
Same.
On every social media platform.
For every conference.
We literally went to the Nashville RV show over the weekend. But every single conference I am getting ad for left and right. And I'm like, well, I haven't seen this since like 2020, early 2020. So I think it's going to be close to 15.8, 15.9, maybe even 16. In 2019, it was a 16.1 million people visited Nashville.
It was 16.1. Well, did Bonnaroo happen in 22? Or did they cancel it? I can't remember now.
It did happen in 22.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it did or not. I feel like that will have an impact.
I don't know. It's
So I'm gonna say they expect to welcome 15 million. With the success of every event still breaking records this year,
Yeah.
It's not by that much. We didn't break records by that much, but we still broke the records by 10 to 15 to 20,000 people.
I believe even in 2019, it was only about $7.2 billion in direct visitor spending.
Yeah. So I'm saying the amount of people, I'm saying is still going to be under 15 million.
Okay.
Because it's the 2019 year was just absolutely outstanding for Nashville. And I think unless we have another year like that, then it's going to be very hard to, I think, hit an extra 600,000 people into Nashville.
But the 2 or 3 Taylor Swift shows, come on, man. I'm kidding. Or am I? I don't know.
So I think 15 million is doable. I think it's going to be right on or under 15 million because that's an extra 600,000 people, and we've broken all the records for all our events this year, attendance-wise. So I think it's going to be difficult, but I hope that I am wrong.
Yeah. What's your the amount of money being spent?
It would be very similar to their projections.
So the 9.3.
Yeah, because it's pretty much related directly to number of visitors. I would say so. So I'm right under that, right in between 9.2, 9.3.
Yeah, I'm optimistic.
Yeah,
as you can tell.
I hope I'm wrong.
So the man who made Nashville is a guy named Butch Spearden, and he has worked with the NCVC, the Nashville Visitor Center, and whatever that big name is. He's been there since the 90s. He has vision casted for this city. He is the reason that NASCAR is coming back to Nashville.
He's the reason the Titans are here.
He's the reason the Titans are here.
He's the reason the Preds are here.
Yeah, he's the reason that we had the largest NFL draft in United States history. He's the reason for our 4th of July event. He's the reason for the New Year's event. He is the reason that Nashville is thriving.
He is the reason for the season.
Yeah, which is the thriving of Nashville. That is the season. So he is now stepping back, and according to the Tennessean, he is now becoming more of a consultant, and he wants to be on the phone calls and in the meetings with the Super Bowl, with the NFL and other NFL draft announcements.
Yeah.
Potentially NASCAR fully coming back into, and then also really focusing in on more international flights coming into BNA.
I really, when Butch announced a transition a couple months ago, he announced that somebody else is coming in and taking like half of his role.
Yep.
Because he was wearing a lot of hats at the time. I thought he was going to stay in his current role. I predicted he was going to stay in his current role until we got a Super Bowl. But hopefully he's still involved enough in his kind of new work as a consultant for the Visitors Corporation that he can kind of help come in there and help us secure a Super Bowl still.
All right, so just let's see. Last year we talked about the numbers. He's also working on a deal right now. This is according from the Tennessean for the new NFL stadium, which we're going to talk about slightly tomorrow and what's happening with that. To get the new Super Bowl, the WrestleMania. He's also working on getting the Rugby World Cup.
Interesting.
Which is super interesting because we do not really have a rugby market here. And as I said, international flights from Nashville. The Tennessean has been covering the international flights pretty well. I think we're going to get a direct flight from Tokyo, Japan. I think that's going to be a really big announcement that's coming over the next few years. I think we're going to see another European market, maybe Roma or maybe Paris, France, here pretty soon.
That would be very nice.
And then I also think we're going to eventually, it's not going to happen immediately. There's a lot of work that needs to happen with the runway. This is what, in this flight logistically is a mess. It's hard. Do you know where I'm thinking of?
No.
Sydney, Australia.
Okay, I thought so, but I wasn't 100% sure.
That one's going to be 10 years before we get into Sydney, Australia.
Yeah,
hands down.
Because Sydney has a ton of stuff to LA and that side of the U.S., but to Nashville,
I don't think Atlanta does a direct flight from Sydney to Sydney. I have to look that up. Somebody comment below. Sure. You guys probably know.
Yeah, so just thanks for Butch for his current role, and hopefully he's still kicking butt as a consultant and still making all the things happen so we can get those things, the Super Bowl, WrestleMania,
And we could break the records. I'm predicting.
rugby. So let us know for that. Tomorrow's episode is going to be great. Comment below if you're looking forward to episode 1000 with more interviews to come. Let us know. Who do you want to see us interview? See you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Nashville Daily Podcast. If you want to learn more, head to NashvilleDailyPodcast.com.
You can also follow us on social media at explore.nash on Instagram, Nashville Daily Podcast on YouTube, and explore.nash on YouTube as well.
The Nashville Daily Podcast is an Explore LLC production, copyright 2023.